So just a little bit of a review on inverses. First of all, it's when the domain and range switch, okay? So if you remember, if you have a function, f of x, and then there's a domain for that function and a range for that function, if g of x is the inverse of f of x, then the domain of g is equal to the range of f, and the range of g is equal to the domain of f. So they switch places. So I don't know if that notation is helpful, but remember that when we get further on, that the domain and range, they switch places for a function and its inverse. Also, in order to have an inverse, the function must be 1 to 1. That means it has to pass the horizontal line test. You can use the horizontal line test to see if it's 1 to 1. So, like a parabola, that's, a favorite function we have, but it doesn't pass the horizontal line test because it's not 1 to 1. However, we can restrict the domain so that it will be 1 to 1, and we're going to talk more about that in some examples coming up. And then the notation. So if f is a function, then the inverse is written f inverse of x. Okay, so remember that notation. And then just real quickly, the steps to find an inverse. I think we've done this before, but you replace f of x with y, switch x and y, solve for y, solve for y, and then replace y replace y with the inverse notation. Now, we don't exactly do the notation this way. This is if it's written in f of x notation. We have some other examples where we're going to be doing like we did with that cone problem, where we simply solve for the other variable, just so that you know that will be coming up.